Good morning, Solid Steppers. Welcome to Miami and Florida. Let's get it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. So today what I want to talk about is structure. Like I always say, everybody's structure is different when they get ready to go to business. So depending on whether you're building on a one-man crew, a one-man and a CSR crew, a 2-3-man crew, a one-man and apprentice, a one-man and a helper, you got to have that structure in place and you build around that. Prime example, say you're a one-man show. You can only do so many things. So what you want to do is pace yourself. How do you pace yourself? First, be clear about where your skill set is. If you're just starting out in the business and you're training as you go and learning as you go, start on the simplest things. Start on dryers. Concentrate on dryers. And people say, how do I do that? Well, you advertise for dryers only. I mean, you focus on your skill set, become good at that. Like I was watching something from Humble Leader in my Facebook group, and I love the way he works because he's mastering one thing and going to the next. You know, a lot of issues happen when we try to expand in a way and we're not ready. So then you have failure, frustrations, jobs that take too long. And the point is, the only reason I know this, people, is because I personally have been guilty of it. You know, I'm looking at the smorgasbord of appliance repair and like, oh yeah, let me get this, let me get that. You know, and at the end of the day, you have to decide how you want to move. Like, I'm going to use myself as an example. When I started out, you know, it was just me, but because I come from a background of managing techs, I always was on the lookout for the ability to sublet the work because my mind worked that way. And that I ran into two issues during subletting. The first issue was I wasn't doing the work. I didn't develop the relationship with the customer. So it was it was trial and error when it came to finding people that mesh with my caliber customer. You don't just send a guy out to do a job and think that they're gonna be you. You know, they might interview with you good, they might talk to you good on the site, you know, when you initially do it. But then when you go and see how they work, it's a different dynamic. And say you go, you know, because that's what I used to do. I used to sub out the work and then I would go and watch how they work. Now, there's some guys that are just damn flawless, you know. There's some guys that I just send them and I'm good. But then there's some other guys that, you know, I got a knot in my damn stomach. You know, because I know that their customer service skills are not where mine is, and I'm not knocking them. It's just that some people, and look at me using this word, are rough around the edges when it comes to customers. Like if you ever see me talk and deal with a customer, either I manhandle them because they come to me with the pushy-okie, or I treat them like queens and kings because they respect what I bring to the table. And so we have a mutual relationship where we both respect, you know, what we are here to, you know, we respect the craft, and they're willing to pay me accordingly. And they have the right attitude. There's so much business in appliance repair that you don't have to put up with anybody's drama, period. You can pick and choose what you work on. But see, the key with that is being not only good at it, but being very good at it. And very good in a way that you can time yourself. Like you look at someone like Mr. Bobby Howard, you know, he'll knock out a stackable job in 30 minutes. And the rest of us, it take us 2 damn hours. You know what I mean? But just realize you have to be patient with yourself. And every time you do a job, you have to think about the best way to do that job. Or, you know, different steps. Like every time I'm on a job, if I think about a tool I need, I buy the tool, or either I make sure it's in that bag. And my bag gets smaller and smaller. Like at this point, I got a little tiny, let me see if I can find it. It's going to give you an example of what my bag looks like. And that's because I move in such a way, I pretty much know what I need. This bag right here is a bag I carry in with a drill. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's how I move. But I do that for efficiency. But getting back to what I was speaking on, whenever you're dealing with subcontractors, you got to realize there are ramifications to everything you do. The problem with humans is that we all get lazy because when we are not challenged, there's a lot of times we don't show up as our best selves, And the key is, got to get my drinks down, is to try to show up as your best self and know what that takes. If that means you got to get 8 hours of sleep, people, get 8 hours of sleep. I haven't been getting that lately, so I'm definitely trying to get back on that track. One of my guys is out, had kidney surgery, or not kidney, but kidney stone surgery, emergency surgery, and it's going to be a minute. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself. The other thing, though, is as you look at how you go to business, you need to build your business around that until you can do some next level, if you want to do next level. Some people don't even need to do the next level. Some guys work for other companies or got their training and then went out on their own. So the way they move is totally different than people who haven't been trained. And I think that's where the disconnect comes in our community, because you got guys who've been doing it for years and they look down on people. You got some guys that just here, they want to teach and they want to, and then you got some people that you try to teach and they a little hard-headed like me. That's me all day. Like, I'm stubborn, but it works for me in the sense that no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to bull my way through it. I'm like, oh, if I gotta hit my head 20 times, I'm still gonna win, because I don't know what it is to lose. You feel me? So whatever that takes, I'm gonna do it. That's that level of discipline. Like, I was talking to one of my ex-girlfriends, and she's like, people don't realize you'll come home be exhausted, and then you just lay down, and next day you get up and do it again. Like, I don't know how the heck, but I'm just built that way. Like, it just is what it is. I don't believe in any type form of not getting it done. There are advantages to that and disadvantages, because I have to monitor my damn self, because no one can monitor me, which is a problem. Everybody needs a partner in something, and so I'm working on that for myself. But at the end of the day, you got to get your stuff together. You got to handle your things a certain way so you can be successful. Then you don't have no damn problems, So getting back to the structure. So you have to decide, number one, how you're going to build it, and then build everything around it. So let's just start with it's just you and you learning as you go, because I think that's a lot of the people that watch my channel. So as you go and you learning, you start to look at your areas of conflict and frustration, and you put things in place to fix that. So how do you do that? You reach out to people like myself who know how to do that. You put it in front of people. See, part of the problem is we will stand in one spot and be mad, and we'll be fighting with it. Now, you talking to the one who knows this, because I do this. I will fight with something, and then time I start fighting, the answer comes to me, or a resource comes to me that's going to really help me get through it, And so I could have had that the whole while if I wasn't fighting with my damn self. So I need y'all to step back and breathe. And you're so busy looking at one thing, your scope is not wide enough for you to get anything else. You don't get it. Like, I'm telling you guys, I had to learn this the hard way. When you're laser focused on one thing, it's one thing when that's the thing that's going to solve the problem. But it's another thing when you're missing other pieces because your focus is so narrow. So prime example, I was talking to consulting someone last evening. And so they are looking at things in black and white. And what they don't understand, there are gray areas there for a reason. There's a window. There's a loophole. Jump through that. In fact, make the loophole bigger if you can. You know what I'm saying? And get you. Because you have to understand, when you run a business, the most important thing is your success and learning from your mistakes. Failure is never a failure if you don't learn from it. And people don't understand that and it's a process. People beat themselves up. Don't beat yourself up. Just handle your business. It is a true process. You know, I don't think people realize how good they are and how blessed they, how good their situations are and how good they are at what they do until they look at other people. Like I spoke with a young lady last night. They don't understand that they are really light years ahead of us, so many people, because they are, they've had the warranty exposure, maybe a little COD, but at the end of the day, they're out there and they're hitting those walls. And in order, when you hit them walls, that's when you learn. And I tell everybody, until you get out here and start doing it, you're never gonna win. You're never gonna really get there. And the later you start, the longer it's gonna take you to get to the next level. All right, so that's it for today, y'all. I'm almost to my destination, and I need to get my head in the game for that. Be blessed, and Miss Ward shout at y'all tomorrow. Thank you again for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you want a consultation, don't forget, it's in the links.